මම ගියා අපේ Neil deGrasse Tysonගේ lecture එකට.
Oh, wow.
House full. Like, I think there was like 1,000 seats in the auditorium.
මචන් මේ හග්ගලයක මම දේවල් මෙල්ට් කරලා බලනවා ප්ලාස්ටික් මෙහම මෙල්ට් කරලා උස්සලයිට සැඟට දාගෙන බලන්න පිච්චෙනවාද කියලා. it hurts a lot. දෙසේ කැල්ල ගලවන්න තිබෙන. It's fun.
මෙහි බල්ලෙක් කියන්නේ මචං ඇත්තටම පින් කරන්න ඕනේ. බල්ලෙක් කියලා ඉපදෙන්න මේ first world country එක.
There's a sense of peace in there. I could see in their eyes, like as the light goes out, they're like, long journey
Relief.
is finally ending. Yeah, relief. Like, you know, it's over. I don't have to wake up on Monday mornings anymore. Like, it's done. Like, it's over.
What does Apple expect from this product?
Yeah.
It seems what Apple is trying to do is invent a new form factor for computing.
But Mamanam Marunam, I want a party, man. Like, you know, I survived a lot in this fucking life. I need to go out like with fireworks. අපි මේක රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න කලින් අපි හොඳ දෙයක් ගැන කතා කර හිටියා. That was about death. මරණය ගැන තමයි අපි කතා කරන්නේ.
මරණය ගැන දිගටම කතා කරද්දී කියලා ෂුවර් නෑ මොකද. ඒ මරණය කියන්නේ
ඔගොඩ
මේ මරණය කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම මේ like it's a melancholic thought, like something ends, right?
අන්න
දැන් මරණය දුක්ඛ දෙයක් කියලා කියන්න බෑ generally because it's a fact of life. You know, everyone dies, everything needs to die, and දෙයක් සමහරලාට death is required for another thing to be born, right? So
death isn't the end. Like, not to be like all religious about it, death is not the end. Death is transformation. You turn into dust now. You turn into worm food. So like that's not you ending. You just change shape.
No one really ends, and no one really begins. We just transition between phases. So why did we talk about death? We talked about death because of this thing here.
pen and
මේ විශ්වට වෙන්නේ මම මේ මගේ කොහෙද මම මේක හොයාගත්තේ කැලිෆෝනියා සෑන් ඩියේගෝ. මගේ මේ කන්වෙන්ෂන් එකකට මම ඔෆිස් එකෙන් යවුවා අවුරුදු 4කට විතර කලින් මේ කොවිඩ් එහෙම එන්න කලින්. ඊපස්සේ මම කැලිෆෝනියා ඉස්සර මෙක්සිකෝවල කෑල්ලක්. ඉතින් ඒක හින්දා මේ මෙක්සිකෝ ලොක් ගොඩක් මෙක්සිකන් කල්චර් එක. එතකොට මේ මෙක්සිකන් මේ ඩිසෙන්ඩන්ට්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මම ගිය කාලේ තමයි මෙක්සිකෝවල තියෙන හොලිඩේ එක හෙල මේ උන්ගේ කල්චර් එකේ හොලිඩේ එකක් තියෙනවා මේ සෙලිබ්‍රේෂන් එකක්. මේ මල ගිය අය මැරිච්ච අය ඔය සෙලිබ්‍රේට් කරනවා. මේ මෙක්සිකන් ලෝ එකේ තියෙන විදිහට මැරිච්ච අය මේ එහෙම අපායට යනවා කියලා නෑ. නමුත් උන් මේ ඒගොල්ලෝ හිර වෙලා ඉන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ සෝල්ස් හිර වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරගන්න කියන්නේ if they had anything that they wanted to finish, like they wanted to say something to a friend, or like, you know, they so badly wanted to like see their daughter get married or something like that. If they had anything that was left behind, they believe that the souls get stuck in between and they can't go to their afterlife, which is like basically heaven in their senses. I think to help the souls cross over to the afterlife, they celebrate it. They throw a huge party. They are like, hey, look, you know, look ma, look dad, I'm happy, everything's fine, you know, you can go. Gehema scene එකක් තියෙන එකට මේ කියන්නේ Day of the Dead කියලා. There were some films. I think Coco was a film, right, that you mentioned?
Coco was.
Oh, I think
Coco hari තව එකක් තිබ්බ ඒ වගේම එකක් මේ it was funny as well.
Yeah. ඇතරම කිව්වොත් මම මේකේ ගොඩක්ම deeply cultural relevance එක දන්නේ. All I know is that they celebrate it and it's a very happy kind of a festival, you know. දැන් ස්කල් එකක් දැක්කම අපි ඔලු බක්ක නටනකම like you always think about it being scary, right? But look how nice this is.
අර මල පෙන්න. අර මල මම ආසම පාට එක මල. That's life.
Yeah.
You know, that's the sign
the
of
skull
life.
has two flowers and this is like such a wholesome concept to me. I think that's what we were talking about.
ඔබ ඕකෙන් පාර යන බල්ලෙට්ට ගහලා තියෙනවද?
පාරේ බල්ලෝ නෑනේ මචං.
Sorry.
මේ පාර
ඔය දඩාව තියෙන බල්ලෝ නෑනේ.
ඒක මාරු concept එකක් නේ. You know, ලංකාවට එන්න සුද්ද එහෙම නිකන් බල්ලෝ දැක්කම වෙන ට්‍රිප් අවුට් වෙන්නේ ඒකයි. උන්ට හුරු නෑ.
අපිට ගානක්වත්
නෑ. මොකද මෙහි බල්ලෙක් කියන්නේ මචං ඇත්තටම පින් කරන්න ඕනේ. බල්ලෙක් කියලා ඉපදෙන්න මේ first world country එක. You get your own special food. You have your own doctors that microchip you and
you have a shop just for your food, like tadi kada thiyena just for your food, and eva godda gala thiyena like ape supermarket එක කොටසක් වගේ pet shop එක කොටසක් වගේ නෑ there's shops, they deliver that food to the dogs, like that's crazy.
We fostered a cat like a year ago, right? And we wanted to get some toys to it, and that was the first time, because I never had pets in Canada before, so that was the first time I had that experience. And I went to one of those pet shops. ඒක මචං කෙලින්ම මේ grocery shop එකක් වුණාට ඒක Walmart එකක් වගේ එක જાති බඩු තියෙනවා, පිටිපස්සේ section එකක් තියෙනවා සෙල්ලම් බඩු විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. Like huge cat trees, they assembled it with like borders, and this is how your cat room could look like. And turns out there are cat rooms. People buy houses and dedicated a whole ass room for their cats to live in and play and do stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of a plan we have as well. So now, we want to get them a sunroom, like when they're old, like just chill there.
When I was growing up, I didn't even have my own room. My room was the dining table. So I don't know. ඒකයි මම පින් කරන්න ඕනේ.
ඔය පින් කරන්න ඕනේ. දඩාවත යන පූසෝ ඉන්නවා.
දඩාවත යන පූසෝ ඉන්න බල්ලන්ට වඩා. මොකද මේ බල්ලෝ ටික මෝඩයි උන්ව අහු වෙනවා. උන් මාට් වෙනවා. Sooner or later, cats are a little bit more, you know, they're cats, so they know how to kind of survive.
The cats. But ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සුන්ට අයිති පූසෝද නැත්නම් like
නෑ උන් reproduce වෙන්නේ නැහැ, මොකද මෙහි නියුටර් කරනවානේ. Neutering is something that happens like pretty much 99% of the pets get neutered here. So even if they escape, they are not going to reproduce. මොකද ඕක තමයි දැන් ඔය ලංකාවේ ගොඩක් ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක් වුණේ. අපි මේක ගැන කතා කරලා හිතන එක සැරයක් මේ පොඩ්කාස්ට් එකේ මොකද ඒක ලොකු පවක් කියලා හිතන් ඉන්නවනේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය. අම්මෝ එහෙම කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ කියලා. ඒක පව ඒක නෙමෙයි. පව තමයි ඌ ගිහිල්ලා පැටව හදලා ඒ පැටව නිකන් කන්නතු මැරිලා යන එක. It's basically a conservative logic. You know, abortion is a sin, but orphanages are fuck that. Who gives a shit? As long as it's out of the womb, it's not our problem.
I like how we talked about death, then about pets, and now we're talking about abortion, which is like an important, interesting conversation. Yeah. Abortion is a no-brainer, like, I mean, like, you don't even have to have a discussion about it. It's their body, like, you know, I mean, you're preventing.
So I'm not saying that there is no, there's not a like any. There is a level of responsibility attached to, you know, being pregnant and giving birth and stuff. And that responsibility, part of the responsibility is being able to say, no, I don't want this responsibility.
Exactly. Exactly. Amen.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, I said amen.
No, that's the kata.
But yeah, that's the truth. Like, you know, I mean.
So, there's a reason, right? Like, you don't want to be born into a parent that don't want you. You know, that's a crime against humanity to birth a human that is unwanted. Because humans need to be taken care of. Like, human babies need to be loved and taken. අපි එකෙන් කතා කරන්නේ episode දෙකකට කලින්. කියන්නේ ළමයින්ට ආදරය කරන දෙමාපියෝ තමයි හොඳ සමාජයක් ඉස්සරහට හදවන්නේ ඒ ළමයින්ගේ.
හදන්න. Yeah, definitely.
ඉතින් එහෙම මොකද there is plenty of humans. We are not facing a population crisis by any means.
අපි මේ episode එක පටන් ගත්තේ නම් දැන් වෙද්දි there's been like hundreds of humans born, right? You know, and hundreds die, and like, you know, let's not kid ourselves anymore. Like, no, we don't need a lot of people.
We don't. We need quality people. We don't need trash. Quantity quality on it, because you know, අපි කලින් කිව්වා වගේ, like, we need people who can fucking save our planet.
Yeah, Buntcast බලන කට්ටිය තමයි අපිට ඕනේ මේ වෙලාවේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ අපිත් මචං අවුලක් නැහැ. We'll probably die eventually before the planet gets destroyed. But දැන් ඉපදෙනේ උන් මැරෙන්නේ මචං අපි මැරෙන්නේ දෙන්නේ නෙමෙයි. Unspeakable things will happen to them. So they better figure out. You know, this is something I was actually talking with a friend of mine recently. How much anxiety the new generation has, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha unta. You know, godak maybe it could be a bias, but the mama andurane me podi unta katha karaddi me shit you see from like news and stuff. Like, you always see like a lot of activism from the young generation, right? Then Greta Thunberg, like, she's like the poster child of that stuff. You know, a lot of people, you know, say shit to her, but to me, she's just a kid. Maybe she's like being influenced by her adults or whatever, but she speaks facts. She's never lied, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the way she presents herself is aggressive. No, some girl shouldn't behave this way, that way. Wage arguments here, but bullshit.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is she's an activist, and there's a lot of activism like that in the younger generations. And මං කල්පනා කරේ
Yeah.
උන් එහෙම ඉන්නේ මං හිතන්නේ they actually feel the issue. උන් දන්නවා
Yeah,
උන්ට
yeah.
කෙල වෙලා තියෙන කෙනෙක්. දැන් අපි අර බූමර්ස්ලට බයින්නේ මුන් තමයි ඉකොනොමික් කෑවේ කියලා.
අපි කරන්නේ blame
Oh.
කරන එක. අරුන් කරන්නේ يعني Gen Z Alpha try කරන්නේ how to fix the fucking issue.
Exactly.
Like, how do we get out of that? Yeah, millennials are so good at the blame game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, තාත්තා නිසා වුණා, අම්මා නිසා වුණා, අර like we're so good at the blame game. Like, I mean, like,
I think it's because අපිට reality එක click උනේ අපි adults ලා වුණාම. When we were like 18, 20, we
Yeah.
were like, oh shit, things actually are fucked, right? Like, oh shit. එතකොට අපි දැන් we are used to the shittiness. We are comfortable. So
Yeah.
we identify the
Yeah.
problem, but we are like, fix කරන්න කම්මැලි. I mean, we do benefit
Yeah.
from some of the last remaining bits of their bullshit. So we are comfortable.
Yeah.
Gen Z එවුණුයි Alpha එවුණුයි උන්ට existential. මොකද දැන්
උන්ට අපි married ඔබ කියන එක හරියටම හරි අපි married
Oh.
before like අපි we die around 2060 maximum 2070 කියමු. Then එතකොට තමයි issues පටන් අරගෙන they are trying to solve
yeah,
it.
that's when you are starting to feel
But
it.
and Gen Z married නේ like
Oh,
total dehydration වතුර නැතුව තමයි
Oh.
married. So, yeah, ඔයා ඕක ගැන කියද්දි තමයි මතක වුණේ you went to somewhere nice this week like
yes.
කෙනෙක්ව හම්බෙන්නේ?
I checked up something from my bucket list. මම ගියා අපේ Neil deGrasse Tyson ගේ lecture එකකට. So Toronto ආවා. මේ අවුරුදු 8කට පස්සේ මම ටොරොන්ටෝ ඇවිල්ලා තින්නේ. So it's actually such a rare thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm a big fan of his mission. I like him as a person too.
Yeah.
He's such a pleasant dude.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I want to say first, get it out of the way. It's like there is a lot of like නිකන් අර hate කියන්නත් බෑ. It's kind of like අර Nickelback effect එකක් තියෙනවා උට, where the internet loves to shit on him. But no one really can pinpoint why they're shitting on him. But I feel like
you
okay, Hanko. No.
no, if you take him as a person he's fucking perfect like you know මුකුත් කියන්න බෑ like he doesn't have any he's not cancelled or whatever. It's just internet loves to shit on him because he always talks about science and
Nah,
they
මං
think
හිතන්නේ
it's
ඒක
too
නෙවෙයි.
much.
He does talk about science like pretty much all the fucking time. ඌ හෙන පණ්ඩිතයෙක් කියලා හිතනවා දැක්කහම. මම හිතන්නේ ඒකයි අර there's this gut reaction මොන පණ්ඩිත බීප් කෙනෙක්ද මූ අර එහෙම හිතනවානේ.
Yeah, because he's an astrophysicist.
Exactly.
That's his job. Like, you know, he's not trying to be like, I mean.
He's a card carrying panditya. So I would
Yeah,
if there's
exactly.
anyone who's a panditya, that's kind of people like him that needs to be panditya.
Yeah.
Not some
Pandit,
random ass
exactly.
dude on YouTube.
Or LinkedIn, like, you know, for that matter, like, you know. Man,
I think yeah.
like he gets to be. Yeah. I think
So no, I just want to get that out of the way because if you feel like you kind of don't like the bugger, kind of set aside that like me panditek කෙනෙක් අපට අමතක කරලා try to listen to what he's trying to say. Most of the time he's trying to make sense. You know. ගොඩක් කලාට that's why I'm a big fan of him in the sense that the man, he doesn't care about like, you know, politics or random chit chat. What he wants is like, hey, let's science, let's talk about science, let's do science. Science is what gave us everything and it's gonna save us at the end as well. Not this, not that, not this party or not that party or anything. Okay, and he has balanced takes and stuff like that. So anyway, okay, Star Talk is one of my favorite podcasts. ඔගොලෝ පොඩ්කාස්ට එකක් හොයනවා නම් මේ දවස්වල අහන්න definitely 100% I recommend listening to Star Talk. Very light hearted. You don't need to know anything. ඒක ඒකේ format එකත් මරු. I don't know if you heard it
I've just heard the shorts and shit, but I've never listened to it.
comedian කෙනෙකු එකතුලා කරන්නේ. So he has this thing where he's like, science is boring for normal people. Like regular people can't care. They have enough problems in their lives, you know, to care about like some random science factoids. But if I can make their day lighter, you know, make them laugh and let them learn something, that's more like that would go further than just me talking about science. ඉතින් ඌ එහෙම කියලා මේ ඌගේ show එකේ හැමතිස්සෙම comedian guest කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. Either like there's a regular comedian or he brings another guy somewhere that he's a fan of. And show එක හැමතිස්සෙම යන්නේ joke උත් එක්ක. I think මේ so he's a real guy. Yeah, තින් බලලා දින දැන් හිතපන් මේ Einstein වගේ ඩයලොග් හරි I will not talk about the Hawking who cancelled.
He's cancelled, yeah. Posthumously cancelled.
I still don't know if that's true though. Anyway,
yeah, like we don't know.
Allegedly. I'm pretty sure there's no real substantial evidence for it. But they were all about science, but they didn't really understand how to talk to people. Right? Like regular normies, අපි වගේ උන්ට තේරෙන විදිහට කතා කරන්න උන් දන්නේ නැහැ. උන්ට පුළුවන් උන්ගේ level එකේ උන්ට කතා කරලා we need like 3 layers of translation for it to be simplified, right? මුගේ scene එක I think he kind of figured out. He's a naturally charismatic guy. ඉතින් උ දන්නවා කොහොමද කතා කරන්න කියලා. and උට I think අර he's able to translate his ideas and concepts and way he thinks into like regular people words. And that's what I really appreciate about him. ඉතින් මම ඌ බලන්න ගියා මේ උගේ lecture එක. It was on a Tuesday night, right? Tuesday කියන random දවසක් new stage එකට ඇවිල්ලා ඌගේ පළදේ තමයි like house full. Like I think there was like 1,000 seats in the auditorium. Full house. Well, like you know, just so you know, like you are here on a Tuesday night to listen to an physicist giving a lecture and let that sink in. Like what is going on? You think he's so happy that people were coming out to see him and all that stuff. I think he loves to act humble. Like he's probably the biggest science communicator in the world right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think but interesting. In fact, he did talk about death too, so it's actually timely. He talked about a lot about like how you know why our society is now not as interested in science as it used to be. Why is there a lot of anti-science sentiment, you know, vaccine scene, you know, no one really trusts scientists anymore. He's like scientists gave you everything. GPS, the phone you're holding, all the technology you're using, it's science. And all of a sudden, just because someone on YouTube says that don't trust science, you're not a believer anymore. සියට අනුනමයක්ම දේවල් පොසිටිවිටි අර 100.01ක් හම්බෙච්ච ගමන් how do you flip? ඒක උකට තිබ්බ ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. You can see the bugger was very upset about it, so he talked a lot about that stuff. I think but like interesting. I couldn't really like talk to him personally. ඒකට VIP ticket ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒව ගන්න couldn't afford that level of access, but nevertheless it was fun. He what he talked about death was in fact because I feel like death is a theme now. Other episode started off with death. We'll keep it going, I guess. His mother passed away last year, November. I think I never knew about this, so I guess this was like one of the first times he talked about it in public. And he talked about how he processed that. Like a loved one passing away, and he also shared like apparently age ammath ekka podcast එකක් කරලා තිබ්බා Star Talk interview එකක්. So he shared that. He said like guys, like go listen, like she's not a perfect person, but like you know she tried her best. Okay, you know he went on
who is right? Like,
and he's like you know he said he was feeling upset that she passed away, but he wasn't devastated. Like he wasn't bawling his eyes out. And the reason is, he said that it's completely normal for your parents to pass away before you do. It's only tragic if the opposite happens. So it's like, you know, this is just a fact of life. It's normal. Like literally what you just mentioned earlier, episode you have to make way, which means you have to leave. That was beautiful. I need to get some of his books. Paga has a lot of books.
And one more thing I want to add about the death thing is like death is only sad for the people who's going to be there around. Like, you know, I mean, the person who's dying I know it's like I've never experienced like, you know, a near death experience, but I've been around people who were going out, like the light was going out. There's a sense of peace in there. I could see in their eyes, like as the light goes out, they're like, long journey
Relief.
is finally ending. Yeah, relief. Like, you know, it's over. I don't have to wake up on Monday mornings anymore. Like, you know, it's done. Like, you know, it's over. That's the last Monday morning I ever woke up on. Like, that's it.
Oh, ne?
Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it shouldn't only, like, Mexicans are right that way. Like, you know, it shouldn't only be about the leaving. It's all also about ending. Like, that's over now. Like, හැමදාම ෆිල්ම් එකක් තිබ්බොත් හිතන්න, like, you know, like පැය 1000ක් තිස්සේ හැමදාම ෆිල්ම් එකක් we'll get
Yeah,
tired of it.
ඒක තියෙන්න ඕන. There should be something that kind of signifies this is the end. And
Yeah.
I think that is what motivates us as humans, right? අර අපේ අර clock එක තියෙනවා, there's a clock is ticking, you got to do stuff within this period of time that you have කියන එක තියෙන නිසානේ දේවල් කරන්නේ අපි.
Yeah, that in 100 years into the future, like someone immortal is watching this episode and they're laughing. They're like, "Apo mummonad danne," like, because we think death is beautiful because we've never experienced immortality.
But here's the thing, right? Immortality could come in many forms.
Yeah.
Maybe they're immortal, but they're living in a fucking gel, you know? Floating in the
jellyfish,
ethereal
like,
plane.
they don't die for thousands of like, you know, they don't die for hundreds and thousands of years because, like, you know, but you are a jellyfish, like, you know, you live, but what's the point? You're just a blob in the ocean, you know. I mean, we are too a blob on land, but I don't know, it's just a difficult concept. DeGrasse Tyson ge asama ekalla thama how he teaches you how to raise children.
Yes.
Pora කියන විදිහට, like, if the child is in the kitchen banging on a pot, don't disturb them. Let them understand මේ විදිහට තමයි vibrations වැඩ කරන්නේ. මේක එක pots වල සද්ද වෙනස්. මම මේකට වෙන දෙයකින් ගැහුවොත් සද්ද වෙනස්. So that's them being a scientist.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt that. So ඒක interrupt කරලා ඉස්කෝලේ science වලට ඇවිල්ලා ලකුණු අඩු නම් බයිනවා මේ බාන්න මේකට ලකුණු අඩු වෙනවා. Because you never gave the chance to, because science, physics කියන්නේ, it's about the understanding of the forces of the of
how
of
the world
nature,
works,
like, you know. So
it's the curiosity about how the world
Yeah.
works. That's a scientist.
yeah
අර කියන්නේ මේ මොකද්ද මේ if your kid is banging pots and pans and then it reaches out to grab an egg, that's especially when you don't stop him, because it's not that hard to clean up a mess made by an egg. Just get a tissue and wipe it out.
Yeah.
But your kid will learn very soon that you can bang the pot, nothing happens. You bang the egg, it makes a mess and it stinks.
Exactly. So
He's every child
and
is
you said,
child is a scientist until you discipline it away from him. That's it. Yeah.
t-shirt and a t-shirt. T-shirt. Okay, well, he did talk about death, right? Like the planet ending. So මොනවද කිව්වේ?
For ඒක තමයි he kind of like gave his thoughts on like how he processed the grief and his perspective on it. උගේ අර පොතක් තියෙනවා Cosmic Perspectives on Everyday Life හරි මොකක් හරි කියලා. That book is filled with insights like that, where he analyzes like things that people consider to be serious issues, you know, gender issues, political issues, death, life, abortion, and then he has like takes on it. So it might be interesting. I had to read it. He did say something also very insightful at the very end. He kind of explained why he's doing what he's doing, right? Uge mission to like to inspire people to do more science. That's the whole thing that he's doing. And he's like, considering that you people, like audience again, are here to listen to me, which makes you significant in society, where you are able to influence others to be interested in science. You know, just spread the message, pass the message, and
gospel of science.
It's your responsibility as a person living in society, benefiting from all the good things that science has given you, right? To promote that the message of science before you like pass away. Because that's the only thing that's going to save us. Science and Gen Z
like,
and Gen Alpha. That's the thing.
ඕගොල්ලෝ Gen Z Gen Alpha නම් මේක බලන් ඉන්න අනේ අපි බේරලා දෙන්න මේ අපි ඕගොලන්ට කියන දෙයක් කරන්න honestly like you know මේ දැන් මම විශ්වය පටන් ගද්දී one of the main influences was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like you know මං uni ඉන්න කාලේ ආසාවෙන්ම බලපු දේ තමයි Cosmos. Like his 2 seasons of Cosmos. Like that's just දැන් ඇතිවෙන්න science documentary Netflix එකට ගියොත් there's like hundreds of documentaries and all that. But back then like මේ මං කතා කරන්නේ 2013 2012 වගේ කාලේ ඒකේ visual ද ඒකේ opening credits ඉඳන් පටන් ගත්ත තැන ඉඳන් ඒක අර ටයිම් ශිප් එක යා තැන් වල යන එක ඒ පොඩි දේවල් ඒක තිබ්බ ඒක තමයි නීල් ඩිග්‍රාස් පස්සේ පන්නන්න පටන් ගත්තා ඊට පස්සේ කවුද මේ ඇයි මෙයා මෙහෙම කතා කරන්නේ ඇයි මේක මේ තේරිච්ච දේ තමයි like
so
it's about
do you know Cosmos is it's a remake
yeah
Carl Sagan did the original Cosmos in 1980s remake එක fund करे Carl Sagan की wife she was the producer I think
so එකනේ නීල් ඩිග්‍රාස් ටයිසන් ඉස්සර පොඩි කාලේ අර කොස්මොස් එක බලනවා because එයාගේ අම්මා මට මතකනේ හරි අම්මා හරි ආශ්චර්යයක් තමයි මොකද it says billions upon billions of stars like you know that line stuck with him like oh මෙච්චරක් තියනවද තරු කියන එක so මේ honestly ඒක like I grew up with a lot of science එක අපේ ගෙදර ගිහින් මට science මට සයින්ස් දේවල් කරන්න දුන්නා මම දේවල් කැඩුවා ගිනි තිබ්බා and all that so I'm really grateful that I got that childhood
කැඩුවා ගිනි තිබ්බා sounds like a vandalist in me
I kind of was like you know කියන්නේ yeah a little bit arsonist අලබයි මේ I used to have this like backyard කියන්නේ පිටිපස්ස වත්තේ පොඩි මචං මේව එකක් ගහලා ඒකේ මම දේවල් melt කරලා බලනවා plastic මෙහෙම melt කරලා උස්සලා ඊට සැඟට දාගෙන බලනවා පිච්චෙනවද කියලා it hurts a lot ඊටසේ කැල ගලවන්නත් එපා it's fun මේ ඊට පස්සේ ගෙදර perfume අරන් ගිහලා අම්මගේ තාත්තගේ පිටිපස්සේ දාලා ගිනි තියලා බලනවා
පත් වෙනවද කියලා
that's the best way to learn science classrooms are good like you know labs are really good like both really good videos really good but to explore science by yourself like you know
to experiment right
how things
to experiment
like you know
and to figure out
find out
right? then it's basically analytical skills ඔයා දැන් ඒකෙන් වෙන්නේ පොඩි කාලේ නම් අර දෙයක් ඇනලයිස් කරලා හරි මේක කොහොමද ගලවන්නේ මේක කඩන්නේ කොහොමද කඩලා මේක හදන්නේ කොහොමද those are very useful skills like then අපි දැන් ඉන්න society එකේ what are the most higher paying like in demand expert jobs like engineering IT like you know medical sciences හැම එකටම මොනවද ඕනේ
sciences
analytical skills right to figure problems out you're always diagnosing you're diagnosing a patient you're diagnosing a bug you're diagnosing a structural issue like that's a core skill that we try to discipline away from children පැත්තකල ඉඳපන් මොනවද කරන්නේ නැත පත ගන්න දේවල් කඩන්න නැත you know and then we are like why
and අනිත් එක you can do that shit as an adult as well nobody's preventing you from like you know going out and experiencing science like you know like you can do it in multiple ways now as well so, like you can like what you did like you know you go to a lecture you do this you listen to a podcast you do this like the curiosity should never fucking end even when you are 80
yeah
like you know it should be like you know about computers I mean මං Reddit එකේ හැමතිස්සෙම දකින වයසක වෙනසු කතා කරනවා I'm like he's 80 and he's on Reddit like you know he's talking to other nerds that's a life well lived that's how you feel relieved when you die because you experience the universe
this is a side conversation not really related but there are old people on the internet කිදමර මතක් වුණේ I used to play a lot of Apex Legends right it's a first person shooter එනම intense game එකක් හරිද like even I can't keep up like you need like a lot of muscle memory and reaction time and all and one day I was on Twitch I think it was on Twitch I was looking around who's streaming Apex Legends and there's this channel called Grandpa Gaming this guy this 8-year-old dude was playing the game that I'm sweating and playing every day and chill like under indagana chat එකත් එක්ක කතා කරගෙන he's streaming it it's a fucking grandpa guy used to be in the military And turns out he used to be in the military, so he knows all the military tactics, and he's just using them to stay calm
so he's using
and play the game. And he's having loads of fun. So I'm like, dude, that's old man goes.
Other day, someone came to where I work, and he's gaming. We are fixing his gaming Razer laptop. He's like, I don't want it anymore. I'm gonna sell it after I fix it. What should I buy next? And I asked what does he play? So he said Civilization 6. So that was it for me. Like, you know, I've never met another Civ player in real life, and this dude is like clearly around end of his 70s.
Oh, nice.
And he's buying a gaming, like he's spending his retirement money on buying a gaming PC. And he travels a lot to see his kids and all that. So he was like, I want something that's light and has good battery life. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's like, I want to be 80 and play Civilization. I don't want to, like, you know,
You can not let the spirit die, right? I feel like it's a spirit related thing. And godak adults la, like, I feel like they get beaten up by life. You face a lot of issues, like financial enna puluwan, emotional enna puluwan, lamainge the parents lage the this and that. Like, eventually you grow into someone whose light is gone. It's beaten up, crushed.
They're dead before they're dying, you know. So, like, you know, they're just waiting to be buried.
That's terrifying. Like,
that's worse than dying.
I know, but you can't blame the individual for it. I don't think that's fair. Because some of this might be circumstantial, some of this could be privilege, right? Right? There's a lot of things at play, but it is something I think then we are people who are going to become old very soon, right? Like, so it's something I feel like ape millennial innevum hitanna ona deyak. How am I going to keep myself alive? Like, how do I avoid dying before I actually die? Like, that's something I think about.
This phenomenon, like, you know, I sometimes listen to a song and, like, you know, he's talking about bitches and money and everything, and I'm like, how am I going to listen to this when I'm 50? Like, you know, how am I going to be like bitches and money at 50? I should be able to, Masha. Like, I shouldn't age in this age. This is the information age. You are not allowed to age and die here. Like, you know,
it doesn't matter. Maybe your flavors will evolve into something else. But that something else shouldn't be dictated by what people your age should be doing. Like, it doesn't mean you have to go to temple. Hama iridam pansal yanna one kiyala ekak naha. Irida palayan night club ekකට. Who gives a shit?
Night club, exactly. Who gives a shit? මං ඉකිගාය ගැන කතා කරාද පොඩ්කාස්ට් එකේ? මතක නැහැ.
I think we did poddak.
We talked about it, I think. So ඒකේ කතා වෙන එක concept එක ikigai is of course finding the purpose of your life. But purpose එක දැනගෙන අවුරුදු දෙකකින් මැරුණොත් what's the bloody point, right? So it also talks about longevity, like how these Japanese people live past 100 years. Because in order to get better at something, you have to at least do it for 100 years. Unge opinion.
100 years?
So, like, yeah, exactly. It's like a beautiful.
Right. It's like abba pala karna scene, right? Yeah.
Gaha hitawala, you live long enough to eat the fruit as well, and then you plant another one, and you plant another one, and you plant another. You keep doing it. So, like that's why I really like what we talked about in the beginning. Like, death is not this grim thing, like, you know, malabata uyala haddawase daana tiyana. They're pretty good stuff. Like, they're rituals, they're really good. But mama nam marunam, I want a party, man. Like, you know, I survived a lot in this fucking life. I need to go out, like, with fireworks. Like, you know, I mean, mata onela tibissara my proposed way of going out was, like, you know, put fireworks in my casket and put me into a, like, a fucking gini tiyana eකට gini godaka dala, like, you know, pupuradde fireworks kila minissu pichila, like, they're crying and like be a fucking burden to the living.
I was gonna say, like, I just hope the Kanatte is not next to an orphanage.
That's dark. That's very dark.
Yeah, but I don't think the code allows fireworks in the casket. Sorry.
I know. Mehe fireworks gun. Fireworks gun පුළුවන්ද? Fully banned. Same.
මොකද මේ ගිනි ගන්නවනේ මේ. Turns out shit catches on fire.
ගිනි ගන්නවා.
And there's so much shit everywhere.
Really fast. Yeah, back in the day there were not a lot of people, so you could go to a field and like fucking burn it down. No one cares. But now if you burn down a field, it's gonna set fire to the town as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like you can't do that.
If you get caught firing fireworks, I think it's a $10,000 fine. නිකන් ගෙදර රතිඥයක් පිපිරුවොත් බැක්යාඩ් එකේ $10,000ක ෆයින් එකක් වදිනවා. Like you're not gonna come out of that. You're fucked for like at least 5 years after that. So it's not.
But your neighboring country is completely allowed, right? Like USA, you can have fireworks.
No. This is not a country thing. This is city thing. It's a city level thing.
City level.
මං හිතන්නේ මෙහෙත් පොඩ්ඩක් කැලේට ගියාම you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like how are they gonna enforce it, right?
Yeah.
මෙහෙ drones fly කරන්න බෑ.
Nation. City
can there's like when you download like then ගොඩක් drones, it comes with an app and everything නේ. මේ drone app එක කැනඩාවේ illegally use කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ app එක connected මේ database එකකට city එකේ perimeters තියෙනවා. You can't fucking start the drone if you're inside that geofenced area.
Geofence. Shit.
I mean technically
you can
always bypass anything because it's yours. But not you're paying out of your ass.
Massive fine.
Like it's not worth it basically. ඔහෙ මොකක්ද සීන් එක?
මෙහෙ you have to get a license එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ if you want to
do drone license,
commercial level stuff obviously.
Oh yeah.
There's a drone license.
Yeah.
But if you're a hobbyist, your drone has to be a certain weight limit, and there's a ceiling, like how high you can go with the drone, and you can't fly it around power lines, cities, parks,
airports,
beaches, nothing. So all the things that are cool to see from a drone, you're not allowed to fly around. So that's why
national parks a lot fly කරන්න බෑ.
You can't.
That was like would be the only reason I would get a drone, so that I could fly it in like all these like parks and shit. But the hell do you think?
Yeah, I got one. I flew it around a couple of times, and I was like, fuck this, like why would I nikan වතුර පාරවල් ගාවල, and I want to fly it over a beach or like follow my car when I'm traveling or something like that. But it's very difficult. You have to get the license. You can get the license. It's like $1,500 or something. But
I think you need permits.
Yeah, you need permits. If you're going somewhere, you have to let them know, because if they see your footage somewhere on a YouTube channel or that, they can find you.
Yeah. And they enforce the shit out of it, because I think it's good money.
Yeah, they enforce it. Yeah. I mean, easy fine, right? Like
මං හිතන්නේ ඒක there's also a branding aspect to it too. Like especially Canada, they consider their like national parks to be like property of Canada. So if you make a drone video and you make money, that's the money that
you have to
the
give some
country should have made. So ඒකයි permit එක ගන්න. Permit එක ගන්න 10 පස්සේ කියලා ඒක ඊට පස්සේ හරි. Now you have a license to do it. එම scene එකක් තියෙන.
To do that,
And I guess same goes with fireworks. මොකද මේ fireworks කරනවා දැන් new year එකට එහෙම අම්මට උඩ මේ Canada Day කියලා දෙනවා, like in the middle of the city they run fireworks, but they are operated by professionals.
Professionals. අපේ මේ ළඟදී මේ අපේ මේ I live next to school. I think I mentioned that before as well. They set off fireworks for like a kids thing. That was really cool. අපි වත්තට ගිහලා බලන් හිටියේ. It was like මෙහෙම ළඟ, like I've never gotten that close, like actual like a professional fireworks show. But ලංකාවේදී me and my friends, we used තලංගම කිට්ටුව මේ there is a මැවක් මච අපේ වැව ගාව කියලා out, and we like බන්ට් එකක් literally බන්ට් එකක් ගාව හරි like we set off fireworks හරි ඊට පස්සේ අපි කරන්නේ ලොකු බාල්දියක් තිබ්බ අපිට පාරේ තිබ්බ බාල්දියක් හම්බුණා ප්ලාස්ටික් like විසි කරපු එක රතිඤ්ඤයක් තියලා බාල්දියෙන් වහනවා
අප්පා
ඊට පස්සේ it goes all like fucking SpaceX වැඩ කරා මේ ඊට පස්සේ හස්කූරය රෑ වෙනකන් ඉන්න ඊට පස්සේ ගහක් තියලා ඒකේ කොක්කු ඉන්න
that's fucked up man
කොක්කු මචං රෑ yeah, it was really fucked up. I'll never I can't believe I'm saying this, but හස්කූරය යවනවා ගහට අරුන් කෑ ගහගෙන යනවා. It's so fucking funny. Like,
now it makes me rethink what we just talked about. පොඩි කාලේ උඹ අර ප්ලාස්ටික් ගිනි තියද්දි කනේ පාරක් කෑවනම් ඕක වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ කියලා මට No, but you live and you learn. I think that's. I mean, everyone has done something like that at one time or another. Being a teenager and being dumb is one and the same.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to get your opinion on the Apple Vision Pro is out. Like, what do you think?
Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, I mean, I am not surprised. I was watching reviews. Obviously, I'm not buying it. I mean, first of all, I can't afford it, and second of all, even if I could afford it, it's a first gen product, and there's a lot of like rough edges to it. But reviews baladi mata therichata did you watch the Casey Neistat review? That was like one of the best reviews of the Vision Pro. Again, the හැමෝම Vision Pro ගැන අහලා තියෙන කට්ටිය most likely reviews බලලා තින්නේ. මේක අහන කට්ටියත් ඔව් බලලා ඇත්තේ. But to summarize it, like the common opinion seems to be that it's a very well designed product, like beautiful materials, like como patta. But they haven't really solved everything that's wrong with VR right now, right? Like, first of all, a lot of people are upset at the fact that when you see outside while you're wearing it, you're not seeing the real world. You're seeing the world captured by a camera and then projected into a screen, and you're seeing that. So obviously we don't have the number of colors the human eye can see. The cameras we have are nowhere close to like that spectrum, right? We can at most the best camera could produce like maybe 50% of the colors that we can see, right? I think so it's not really that truly immersive. Like එහෙම එකක් නැහැ කියන එක තමයි ගොඩක් කට්ටියගේ opinion එක. 2-hour battery life, shitty design, bulky වගේ තමයි ගොඩක් අයගේ තියෙන්නේ. අර ඒ වගේ අර why is it not perfect කියන එක. And
but it's obvious, like what you said, like it's first gen. Give them some time.
So Casey Neistat's review was good in the sense that he kind of skips that part and he talks about why does it exist, like in mokadda making, like what does Apple expect from this product?
That's a good
like
question.
this product lineup essentially, because Apple will never make this one thing, right? සාමාන්‍ය iPhone එක ගැහුවා දැන් අපිට iPhone 15ක් තියෙනවා. Apple Watch එකක් ගැහුවා දැන් Watch 8ක් තියෙනවා, Ultra දෙකකුත් තියෙනවා. So and that part I think he describes it clearly. So Apple's idea is that we need a new computer, we had regular desktop computers for a long time, then we had laptops for a long time, and then we had the smartphone, the slab, and this form factor, we are yet to figure out something that works as well as this. Like, I know Samsung has like fucking flip phones, Motorola flip අරාතර නැවෙනවා, මේ අතර නැවෙනවා, කැරගෙන
කොහොම ඒ වෙලත් අන්තිමට
slab එක. It's a fucking chocolate bar. So it seems what Apple is trying to do is invent a new form factor for computing, and that is cool, man.
That's my question to you as well. Like I saw a lot of people using it, like on I think I sent you a meme as well, like two buggers eating somewhere and they're wearing that thing. I'm like, is that the future? Like like people just wearing computers. Like, do you really want to?
What's the difference? We are already wearing computers in our pockets. Computers that are way powerful than desktop computers that existed 10 years ago. Think about it, right? So does it really change? So see, the thing is, another thing that Apple actually considered, okay, so I'm not sucking up to Apple, it's just they put a lot of design thoughts into it. Now I'm not saying thoughts okkoma hariyatun execute karada kiyala, but what I'm appreciating is the fact that they thought about it. Like, a lot of people are shitting on the fact that the eyes thing, the display that is on the outside, then Apple Vision Pro එකේ අනිත් headset එක බලලා තියෙන ලොකු වෙනස්කමක් තමයි උන්ගේ එළිය display එකක් තියෙනවා. පිටේ උන්ට පේන්න. එතකොට දැන් අපි දැන් උඹ VR ගෝගල් එකක් දාන්න පිටේ උන්ට නෙමෙයි උඹට ඕන experience එකක් ගන්නනේ. එතකොට මිනිස්සු අහනවා දැන් මොකටද මේ පිටේ උන්ට පේන මොකද්ද මේක? What's the fucking point? Obviously that's probably increased its price by $500-600 just having the technology to do that. Right? Why? And the reason is they want it not to be something that is isolated. දැන් පාර Apple Vision Pro එකක් දාගෙන dial එකක් ඇවිදන් යනවා නම් you don't want that person to be isolated in society. You want others to perceive him as he's still in here. දැන් ඔබ කවුරු හරි එකෙක් ෆෝන් එක ස්ක්‍රෝල් කර කර පාරේ යද්දී ඔබට එහෙම it's not that awkward, right? Like so they want to simulate that through the VR.
Yeah. So when I was a teenager age, like in the late teens, like, you know, I was on my phone all the time, like, again, it was like paramene texting fucking texting all the time. It was like අම්මලා බයිනවා බිම බලාගෙන යන්න පාරේ වැටෙයි අරකයි මේකයි හැමෝම කියලා. So like most of the people who are going to buy this is not like, you know, 40 or whatever, like, you know, they are like Gen Z or Alpha, like, you know, for them that's their version of computing now. Like, you know, they are not going to be, they will grow up. By the time they hit 30, like, there'll be a new form factor. Like, you know, now the computer is in your chip, in your head, like, you know, Neuralink or something like that. They'll be like, ape kaale na homane. So it's like a,
see, the thing
it's
is,
like a repeating
the
thing.
thing is, I don't think Umbadang describe karapeka, that's not a new form factor. That is the eventual outcome of shit like technology like Apple Vision Pro. මොකද උන් කියන්නේ උන්ගේ මාකටිං වල කොහෙවත් AR නැහැ, virtual reality කියලා නැහැ, augmented reality මුකුත් නැහැ. උන්ගේ තියෙන්නේ spatial computing. That's all they talk about. The classic Apple, you know, classic Apple revolutionary අරකයි මේකයි. But they rebranded it. And they rebranded it for a reason. I think that is their vision. They want the computer to be as transparent as it is to the user. දැන් ෆෝන් එක කියන්නේ conduit එකනේ. You see the world through that little square. What they want is to not have a conduit at all. It's just there for you.
To make it bigger. It's just, like, it's everywhere. Like how you can place shit on something and it's there when you come back.
That's crazy, right?
That's just
crazy.
For me, that's the craziest part.
Like you could have a browser tab in your room and Netflix in your bedroom. It knows where it is.
When you go there, it's like you say, like maybe Gen 2, 3 unama, when the prices come down to like a affordable level.
Price නෙවෙයි. ඔතන අවුල වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ටෙක්නොලොජි එක තාම මදි. ඒක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ like එකක් මෙහෙමයිද? ඒ දෙක they go hand in hand, right? Like technology gets better, things get cheaper and prices come down. But there's like some fundamental barriers, right? First of all, it's huge. It looks ridiculous. Like except like maybe like podi cities like Karenda, it's not going to be generally acceptable. If people see you wearing an Apple Vision, they're going to beat you up. It's guaranteed.
Someone's gonna put you in a closet and, like, you know, close the door behind you.
You're going to see like VR. There's like a VR enhanced video capture format that the Apple Vision Pro has. And you're going to see people getting beaten up in that format very soon. But eventually it's going to look like a, you know, pair of sunglasses, right? Or like you said,
like it's a neural chip and you can look around and there's computing around. Right now it looks stupid, like, you know, just
see, the thing is like what I appreciate is the fact that like unga dang on a device එකක් design කරද්දී සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අර there are few things that you really emphasize on, like this is what we want our users to do, this is what we want the killer performance aspect of this to be, and this and that and this and that. Like for some people it's like gaming, some people it's like movies. For Apple it's all about getting outside into your workspace as quickly as possible. We talked about it when we first talked about Apple Vision Pro 2. Apple Vision is a MacBook. It has an M2 chip in it. It's the same chip that a MacBook Pro has, and MacBook Pro එකක් කීයද $3000ක් වත් වෙනවා නඩුම ගානේ. At this point, like to getting a decent MacBook Pro, and they also have an R1 කියලා අලුත් chip එකක් තියෙනවා. And that chip, custom designs, its only purpose is to get the outside world as fast as possible to your eyes in the screen inside. Like it's a dedicated chip.
No delay.
12 milliseconds. Like that's faster than how much your brain can process. So to me that tells that that's their vision. Get it? That's their vision. The glasses දාගෙන ඉන්න මනුස්සයාට එළිය ලෝකේ ඇත්ත ලෝකේ මේ virtual ලෝකේ කියන එක ඒක blur කරන එක තමයි උන්ගේ main goal එක.
main goal.
So they put a lot of effort into giving that experience to the person who's wearing it, and they put a little effort to the outside world to make sure that that connection is both two-way. It's a two-way connection.
Yeah.
I think that's what I feel about it. I feel like it's exciting because මේ space එකේ අලුත් දෙයක් කළා නැහැ. මේ අවුරුදු මට මතක ඇති කාලෙක අලුත් දෙයක් කළා නැහැ. Phones are fundamentally phones since they were invented. Like and computers, at least for us, have always been computers. Nothing new has happened. So this is something new. I'm excited. And you know, like just a lot of technologies are converging. Right? AI is converging.
Yeah. So do you think others will join? Like will
100%.
They'll get in there.
Because in ගොඩක් කලාට it's not the problem that people don't have new ideas. It's the problem that there's no funding for these new ideas. Because ideas are fucking expensive. And if a company like Apple goes in and validates the idea for you, that's all you gotta do. And I'll give you 2 weeks. Yeah,
thank you.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
There'll be fucking Samsung Vision, there'll be LG Vision, there'll be Microsoft Vision. Well, Microsoft already has that HoloLens.
Yeah, Google.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
It's not even copying.
Microsoft, I think. Yeah, it's not copying. Like, you know,
it's market validation.
It's already out.
And
they'll develop their own tech.
As a result, shit will get cheap. Because at the end of the day, මොකක් ඔය ගොඩක් supply chain වල යට ඉන්නේ චීනයේ ඉන්න එක like few factories, right? So as things get mass produced.
That's the reality. Like, you know, that's the reality of it.
I think I'm all for it. I would really love to try one. Not sure when I will be able to do it.
Yeah. කඩවල වල තියනවද ඔය?
මම ළඟදී ගිය Apple store එකට තිබ්බේ නැහැ.
මම හිතන්නේ ඕඩර් කරපෙවුන්ට විතරක් වෙන්න තියෙනවා.
අනික thing it's probably not sanitary, right? හැම එකම ඔලුව දාගන්න නැද්ද?
But yeah, if Google makes one or if Microsoft makes one, I'm definitely gonna try it out.
Google already made one. මතකද Google Glass? Remember that shit?
Yeah, it was a major hit, remember?
It was such.
What happened?
It was such a hit that when you see someone walking around wearing a Google Glass, you call them a glass hole. Remember that? Glass hole.
I remember.
The society was not ready for it, I guess. ඒ කාලේ යන මේ උන්ගේ උනේ they put the camera out in the front. So every time you saw someone wearing it, you just basically see a camera pointing at you and people were not comfortable with it.
Yeah, exactly. But how hard is this? Like, you know, it's the same thing. Like, you know, you just do this.
Like, now it's more acceptable in society to have cameras. Now you kind of expect there's cameras everywhere, right? So a timing issue. And also technology. It wasn't very useful.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to see directions, bro, I'll have it on my phone. Like, I don't need it to be shown on the corner of my eye. Like, yeah, no, I'm very excited for spatial stuff. I think it's about time that we did something different. But හිතනවා දැන් you know how ඉස්සර දැන් පරණ ෆිල්ම් එකක් බලද්දී හරි පරණ කාලේ set කරපු මේ ෆිල්ම් එකක් බලද්දී අර you know you see the guy goes to his office and sits down. There's no computer. There's like bunch of files in a corner. And you're like, damn, okay, shit, like I forgot that there was a time like this, right? Or you see someone with a typewriter. And then, you know, eventually you see a computer, but it's a CRT and you're like, damn, this is so old. And in the future, we are going to go back to that empty desk with like maybe a bunch of files. Because to see a computer will be ancient. It's like, this guy still uses computers? Just
that'll be the time. Yeah, like you just Matrix again, the people who control the gate, like, you know, the office is all white. Remember that?
Yes.
When the ship comes in, they open the gate and all that. Unge white, but the outside world is fucking. They live underground in this dystopian world. So, like, you know.
I mean, it's pretty much all of Matrix, right? You just get plugged in from some dingy ass ship, and then you're suddenly like this well-dressed, clean.
Yeah, you have guns and everything.
I feel like that's where we are going, honestly. Like, දැන් just to extrapolate, right? දැන් work from home scene එක පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ මේ allegedly, right? Maybe I don't do it, I do it. But people just wake up and just put a t-shirt that they might not even be wearing pants. Right? And you're sitting in a meeting. And you're working.
Yeah. That
no one cares. No one cares. Right? You're not making them smell you. I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
If you have the technology, what's stopping you from like taking it a step further? Why don't you join the meeting from your bed itself? Right? Exactly. Yeah, as long as you. So I think that's natural progression. That's where we are going. Ara volley scene එකට තමයි යන්නේ. Yeah. Except in volley, it implies that there's like humans got together and put everyone in space. But usually, I think realistically, humans will be deep underground bunkers when the surface is rotten.
Yeah, mama say underground society than a space society to be real. I mean, space is cool, but this is our home, right? You know, we live underground. We come out of the cave and we go explore the lands, and like, you know, everyone's just like, you know, plugged into like
go
a
back
thing.
to our rodent roots.
Become a crab. Oh, other Praveen ne aparada nathanga would have given us a speech about being a crab. So that's crazy. So I just opened the thing. You can buy like, you know, gevi me ක්‍රමයටත් ගන්න පුළුවන් from Apple.
Version එකද?
And you have to like put your face ID in to measure your eye size and everything. And I think they customize it and send it to you. So
customize කරන්නේ මේ there's a foam padding that goes between the thing and thing. ඒ padding එක උඹේ නහය bridge එකේ size එකට ගන්නට උන් custom කරලා දෙනවා. So that way it fits perfectly. So that's pretty cool. And you know how it unlocks? It reads your retinas. It's literally an eye scanner. That's how it knows it's you. So අර කවුරු එකේ කියලා Apple Pro එක අරන් දාගත්තොත් ඌට පේන්නේ ඔයා බලපුවා. It fails. I mean, they have more cameras looking at your eyes than looking outside in that fucking thing.
Yeah. අපි මුලින් කතා කරන්නේ මම ටික they predict where you're going to look with your eyes. That's just insane, bro. Like, you know, that's just insane.
It's prediction in the sense that not that it knows where you're going to look. It knows how your eye muscles twitch to move the retina to a specific location. It knows how far you are going to move your eyes. So you already had the intention to move your eyes, but you didn't complete the movement of it. And it detects that.
What have we created?
That's cool though. Isn't that fucking cool? Right? It's like, think about it like cruise control, right? You car ke api cruise control la dihuma, it's not a big deal. You just set a speed and you go. It's the same thing. It's technology making our lives easier. And you know why they have to do that? I predict කරන්න එච්චර වැදගත් දෙයක් වෙන්නේ කියන එක. මොකද මේ උන් මේ ඩිස්ප්ලේ එකේ ඇත්තටම හරියට රෙන්ඩර් කරන්නේ like ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේ sharp විදියට රෙන්ඩර් කරන්නේ ඔයාගේ ඇහැ බලන් ඉන්න තැන විතරයි. Everything else is like blurred and they are not processing power is not spent there. It's a very neat trick. It's called foveated rendering.
Neat trick.
That's how they manage to get that much features in it, right? So the computer doesn't have to ඇත්තරම් බලද්දී අපේ ඇස් ඇත්තටම වැඩ කරන්නේ ඒ විදියට. Only sharp thing we see is the thing that we are looking at. It's a very small angle cone එකක් තියෙන්නේ. අනිත් ඒවා අපිට වැඩක් නැහැ. The moment we try to notice it, we start looking there and it becomes sharper. So
yeah, that's true. I mean,
you can't as a human you can't.
It's not.
I think, that's clever. I'm all for good technology. Like, what is so scary? Like, sometimes I feel like we are scared just because it's, I don't know, different.
Not for me. You know what's scary for me? Change. Change is the scariest thing for me. In every aspect of my life, change is the scariest.
So unknown.
So like, when
what are the implications?
When it happens, when I buy my own thing, use it and all that, I'll be like, this is normal, like, you know, this is fine. But I'm at this place like, fuck me, like, you know, will people completely disconnect now? Like, you know, will we never have a conversation face to face? Will we live in our own? But we already do live in our own fucking world. Like, you know, mage jeevithe කියන්නේ මට පේන shorts ටිකයි මම කතා කරන යාළුවෝ ටිකයි, like I don't care about that much about the surrounding world.
I mean,
my TV shows, that's like this is our dream, right? To become the king of our own fucking empire. මේකයි අපි මහන්සි වෙන්නේ. This is why we beheaded people in France, you know, so we can be our own kings. You know, that's so like එහෙම බලද්දී you're right, Madhu. Like, you know, you're
මේකයි okay, I agree there's a scary part, and that scary part comes with capitalism. Like imagine like imagine that yeah, you get your nice little like Vision Pro 5, but you know, you have to pay like $1,000 to have access to a Vision Pro house, completely virtual, not real at all. But turns out it is a thing, and turns out there's people paying for it, and turns out you're the only one who's fucking broke enough to not being able to afford a Vision Pro house, so you have to live in a fucking white square your entire existence.
You took words right out of my mouth. That's what I'm scared of.
That is the scary part.
Not the technology. Technology has never been scared. It's just how they sell the technology.
I think hopefully it'll be like to defend capitalism, it'll be free in the free market sense. Therefore, there will be another company with another vision that doesn't do that shit.
And see, this is why you should watch Upload. Like, you fucking have to watch Upload. They talk about all of this stuff. Like, it's such a good. It's not about tech. It's about people and, like, you know, money and how that works through tech.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll 100% check it out. Like in my head, solution to that kind of a situation is not just capitalism and competition, but it's also things like open source, right? If you have open source vision, open source hardware, then it's the majority that defines how it should be, what it means. And I have a good feeling that they will get it right. So far, open source have always gotten things right when it comes to technologies.
Definitely.
And
මොනවද බලන්නේ මේ ටික මම අප්ලෝඩ් කරද්දි මතක
බලන්නේ හලෝ කිසි දෙයක් තාම හරියට බලන්න පටන් ගත්තේ නැහැ. මොකද මේ තාම මම අලුත් ගෙදර ටීවී කාටවලා just basically I have the screen up and 2 speakers, but I have like 5 more speakers to mount, and then I can start watching things. I'm setting up a theater room, so finally I'm able to I had a theater set up before too. It's a very long story, expensive hobby. I mean, usually you can buy used ones, so that's how
AV is a very expensive hobby. Like, no, that's
මගේ යාළුවෙක් ඉන්න හිතේෂ් කියලා ඌ තමයි මට ඒක හුරු කරේ. Like, he had the bug and he wanted to upgrade, right? But the bugger couldn't justify it, and he's like, yo, you want to buy my old setup? And I'm like, yeah, nee, I wanted a TV, and that was the end of it.
And now you're hooked. Nothing, no, like,
but the good thing about speakers and sound systems in general is that they are forever. It's not like your ears get upgraded, right?
Oh yeah.
So we have peaked the speaker technology to make you hear things clearly, and once you have a good speaker, I think it's more or less like a 2030 I think.
You can't go back either. Like, you know, you can't be like, I'll buy the cheap one. You have to buy the expensive one because you know it's gonna have this like little bit of this upgrade, and sometimes you get a better.
If you bought a really good pair of speakers in 1995, they'll still be a good pair of speakers today, unless you poke it and ruin it. But that's a different story. But if you it's a good way to, like, you know, I mean, whatever makes you happy, if you can afford it, it's a fun thing. So I'm setting up my theater room, and it's been a mission. කතා කරේ වයර් අදින සීන් එකේ වයර් ටිකක් අදගත්තා, තව වයර් ටිකක් දෙන අදින්න. Then I'm going to start watching all the shows that I missed. However, video doesn't work the same way. Video technology improves every year. That's a mission and a half. Like, we had 480p, 720p, 1080p, 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, Atmos. Oh my god, Atmos is audio, but yeah, it's cool. That's like
බලන්න Masters of the Air.
ඒක බලන්නත් ඕනේ. Scavengers Train බලන්න ඕනේ, Masters of the Air බලන්න ඕනේ, Upload බලන්න ඕනේ, Halo Season 2 බලන්න ඕනේ. Oh my gosh. Are you a Halo fan?
Hello.
Did we talk about this?
Not really. No, I don't. You know, I don't like FPS.
No, not about the game. I'm talking about the Paramount show.
Story. No. ඒක හොඳයිද? Us depends on who you ask. Yeah.
I'll put it this way. It's an interesting sci-fi story. Like, let's say that you're not really into Halo lore and the games and all the shit that happens in the games, and you're approaching it as like just a person who's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's the deal with your approach, Karat? I think you'll find it interesting. So, like, a person like you who's completely foreign to the entire thing, you will enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you're a person,
but if you know the story a little
but
bit,
නිකන් අර බොක්කෙම Halo ගහලා Halo lore එක සෑහෙන study කරලා 10 hour analysis videos බලපු එකක් නම් you're going to absolutely hate it because they are going against everything.
අපේ සුරු
yeah, because you have to think of it the way I cope with it. So I'm not a big fan of Halo in the sense that hardcore level, like I only got introduced to Halo like අවුරුදු 4කට විතර කලින්. When the Master Chief Collection came out, they remastered all the old games that were on Xbox and everything, which was very nice. And that was my intro because I was too broke and lame. I didn't have any consoles when I was growing up, so didn't get access to an Xbox, and my PCs were crap, so didn't get access to games. But it was cool. I mean, obviously, it's an old story, so you kind of see the dating. You know, gaming back in the day, writing in gaming back in the day was okay. You know, things needed to be improved a bit, but it was a cool universe, cool story. I fucking loved it. I binge played the whole first 4 Halo games, so I was that much into it. And yes, you can see things. So the only way to reconcile that is think that this is a multiverse, you know. So this is just Halo, but in during the Big Bang they branched off. So after that you're fine.
You had to make that connection in the beginning, like this is
you had to canonicalize it, but you had to go all the way to the Big Bang to do that. ඊට පස්සේ යන්න බෑ. That's a good coping mechanism, by the way. It helps with a lot of things.
I really like Masters of the Air. You should check it out when you get it. I'm not gonna I can't spoil it because the story actually happened, like, so it's not like it's like a nearly 80-year story now. But ඒක පේනන්න මචං, so the 100th bomber group, the bloody 100 උන්ගේ ඒක danger එක තියෙන්නේ මචං. So during the second world war, it was always night raids. රෑට ජර්මනියෙන් පිටත් වෙලා එංගලන්තයට බෝම්බ දානවා, එංගලන්තයෙන් රෑට පිටත් වෙලා ගිහිල්ලා ජර්මනියට බෝම්බ දානවා. But the 100th bomber group, American name was like, fuck that shit. We are going to bomb during the day. It's like plane wala radar computer aramut and
World War One, like
lever වලින් වැඩ කරනවා.
2, right? 2, yeah.
2.
Yeah, bombers.
It's 2, yeah. So that entire bombing group get the bloody 100 can, because they lost the most amount of ships, but they bombed the most amount of shit as well. Because precision bombing.
Precision bombing.
කතා වෙන දෙයක් yeah. Like, because they had something called the Norden, I think it's called the bomb site. So plane එක bomb එකකට ආවට පස්සේ bombardier control එක හම්බ වෙනවා plane එකේ. zone එකට ආවට පස්සේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඌ ඒක හරව ගන්නවා site එකෙන්, ඊට පස්සේ bomb අතාරිනවා. ඊට පස්සේ එතෙක් වෙනකන් auto pilot එකේ තියෙන bomb, like auto pilot basically putting something into a lock. Digital auto pilot. So and the B-17, the fortress, AK machang, the visuals are like fucking
dude, I gotta
beautiful.
check it out.
So I am a major World War 2 fan. Like, for me, මං uni ඉන්න කාලේ බැලුවේ දේවල් දෙක තුනක් තමයි. Vsauce බැලුවා, Cosmos බැලුවා, and endless amount of World War 2. If you want to learn about a lot of things really fast, just follow World War 2. ඒකේ හැමදේම කියලා දෙනවා. So like the visuals and the like the story, the acting, everything is pretty good. Like I might be overselling it because I'm really biased to the story, but everyone agrees it's a good show. So like it's a good time, like pack with an episode එක mini series. So like තව episode පහකින් කතාව ඉවරයි මම හිතන්නේ.
It has
really
8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, so that should tell you, right? Like, yeah. ගෑනු ළමෙක් ආසාවටවත් නෑ දකින්න, එකක් කියන්න ඕනේ. ඉන්නවා මෙහෙන්, but like it's just dudes. Like it's Band of Brothers කරපෙවම තමයි කරන්නේ.
Okay, that's
Spielberg with Tom Hanks with our producers la. So it's really good. මේ like visuals are just like ඒ කියන්නේ බෝම්බ දාන විදිහ පෙන්නනවා, ප්ලේන් පියාඹන විදිහ පෙන්නනවා, වෙඩි වදින විදිහ පෙන්නනවා. like
Apple TV seems to be like the new HBO again. Consistently quality shows.
I would say so. Quality කියන්නේ මචං. That's like
yeah.
මේ
හරි
definitely good quality.
එනවා තියෙනවා සතියක් තිස්සේ බලන්න පුළුවන් දාන බඩු තියෙනවා බලන්න.
තියෙනවා.
I have a week set out for me.
Yeah. අයියෝ ඉතින් AI ඉවරද දැන්?
AI ඉතින් වෙනවනේ දේවල්. සිද්ධ වෙනවා දේවල්.
මොනවද?
I haven't been following, so I wouldn't know. But I'm pretty sure it's nowhere. When things are silent is when things are scary. So
what are they coming? What are they cooking?
කියන එක තමයි. ළඟදී මේ another model leaked, which is even more trippier. Do you know, did we talk about how AI models were leaking and what that meant? Rather than Facebook එකේ ලා model එකේම leak වෙච්ච එකෙන් which implication like how much it boosted the community AI movement and now anyone can host a decent LLM with community like consumer hardware. I mean ඒක මේ GPT-3 GPT-4 වගේ හොඳ එකක් නෙමෙයි, but it will be good enough to get things done. Like not everyone needs a genius AI in their houses. You just need something good enough to like get your shit done. So there is a company called I think it's called Mistral කියලා AI company එකක් තියෙනවා. Mistral AI. I think is it? Wait, I might be lying. Wait, let me find out the
මිනිස්සුන්ට බොරු කියන්නේ.
Mixture of expert.
මිනිස්සු බලන්.
Yeah, Mistral AI is my company, and they are on the cutting edge as well. Basically OpenAI wage, but another company. Unut they have really good AI models that are like basically head to head with GPT-4. So unge GPT-4 model ek leak kuna. Like the model that they have head to head with GPT-4, that one got leaked like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And that's scary. Anyone being able to optimize, like tune it and tweak it and run their own GPT-4 level AI means next year's election is going to be very interesting in a lot of countries. That's all I can tell you. The news doesn't understand how to report this shit anymore. දැන් මම මේක මෙහෙම කිව්වත් ඒක එච්චර AI model එක හැමදාම leak කරනවා. This is like everyone getting guns. Like that's how I look at it. Doesn't mean that people are going to shoot each other, but they can if they want to. That's the scary part.
Yeah. So, and when you say everyone getting guns, like, there'll be pacifists, there'll be like, people who don't want to harm people. But at the same time, there will be people who want to harm other people. There will be people who are waiting to get something on their hands so they can,
Yeah.
I like how society is always in this brink between complete destruction or like, a perfect utopia. Like, like before we talked about Apple and spatial computing. That's very positive. Like, it can happen. And now we're talking about how it can all come down because like, an AI model got leaked. So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they say, I'm bipolar, right? Like the whole fucking world is bipolar. Give me a break.
Yeah. My Arun, I wanted to do a t-shirt saying God is fucking bipolar. And we really wanted to do that t-shirt, but it never worked out. But yeah, like the entire world is bipolar. Like they're just having this
I think that's how this world is, right? Like humans are basically in an equilibrium, pulled apart, always constantly being pulled apart, and but somehow we figured out a way to exist in that equilibrium. Right? Yeah. Every time one side gets too much, we lose balance. A counter force gets, I don't know, it just comes into existence and pulls us back into somewhere. Like, it's kind of fascinating.
It's the invisible force. It's the
can we put all our eggs in there? That's a scary thought. Like, is this because we have been lucky so far? We only had 2 old wars,
Yeah.
since then. So this only applies after that because then the globalization අපි අර කතා කරන steam engine එක මේකනේ. So humans before that අපි දැන් ගිය සැරේ අපි මේ අර ගිල්ගමේෂ් කී කතාවේ විදිහට there was knowledge, culture, technology that came and just completely disappeared. Like we went back hundreds, thousands years in progress. That has happened and that could happen again, right? Maybe we are just lucky. Or it could never happen. Who knows? Maybe we figure it out.
Yeah.
Regardless, we'll die before any of that shit happens, so we'll be fine.
Happens. ඕගලන්ට තමයි බාර දෙන්නේ Gen Z සහ Alpha කට්ටියට තමයි අපි මේක බාර දෙන්නේ.
තවත් වැඩි anxiety හදාගන්න එපා. පොඩ්ඩක් හදාගන්න. No pressure. No pressure. Just
little
just
anxiety
save
is
the
always
entire
good.
world.
Like,
Okay, no pressure.
Yeah.
Save humanity. No pressure.
Just the entire. Yeah. Because we like කලින් ආපු හැම generation have been saving humanity. Like you know, I mean, they also had their version of like
Crisis?
a world-ending situation, right? Crisis. They always had a crisis. They got through it. Like you know, I mean, මම පොඩි කාලේ ලොකු ප්‍රශ්න තිබ්බේ like you know, ozone සිදුර ලොකු වෙනවා. Like remember ozone hole? Like now we don't even. ඉස්කෝලේ පොත්වල අපි චිත්‍ර අඳිනවා. It was the whole fucking thing. Like it was the issue, but somehow now nobody
It's not
talks about
because
it. So.
somehow. It's because we phased out all the CFCs. Yeah,
CFC,
there
yeah.
was a global effort to phase out the chemicals that were causing the ozone erosion, and it worked.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good example of good science communication.
Yeah.
Like, we should be proud that as kids, like, we had to worry about it and our kids don't have to worry about it. That's one of those rare W's in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing with like global warming and all that is, it's a slow demon. You know, it's not gonna. It's like ozone එක ගියා නම් we are fucked. Like you know, like so we had to act really quickly. Because if it opens, all of Australia is dead.
But that's my crackpot theory. Is that ozone got fixed because it would affect the white people first. You know, that's what it is.
Definitely. We have a friend who's gonna be an expert on this stuff. අපි ආව ගෙනල්ලා කතා කරමු මේක ගැන මීට වඩා because we'll definitely get her to come in and talk about it because
we should definitely do a climate change episode. Yeah, 100%.
We are definitely gonna do that. මොනවාද ආතල් ඉතින් ඕවා තමයි ඉතින් මේ දවස්වල වෙන්නේ ඉතින්
yes.
Yeah.
It's been a good episode today. I hope
yeah, we talked about
මරණයෙන් පටන් අරගෙන අපි හැම දෙයකම කතා කරා අන්තිමට. ඉතින් මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ enjoy කරා කියලා හිතනවා.
enjoy කරේ නැත්නම් complaint line එකට කතා කරලා කියන්න. එහෙමයි ඊට පස්සේ මරණය.
help desk එකට request එකක් දාන්න. ticket එකක් දාන්න.
ticket එකක් දාන්න.
අපේ Discord එකට join වෙන්න, subscribe කරන්න. කරන්න පුළුවන් ඔක්කොම දේවල් කරන්න. යාළුවන්ටත් කියන්න. And spread the gospel of science and technology positively.
ඕවා තමයි කරන්නේ.
එහෙනම් ලබන සතියේ හම්බෙමු. ජය වේවා. Buntcast out.
Bye bye. ජය වේවා. Buntcast out.